Hi, Chris Thomas here with inCity Magazine, and we're right in front of you again. Today, we have with us Anwar Shahid, the founder of Propelled Technologies. Propelled Technologies is a cybersecurity consulting firm. How you doing today?
Doing great, Chris.
Good to see you. Thank you for, you're an incredibly busy man in an industry that is on call, I'm sure, at all times. So thank you for the time that you're spending with us this evening. You're welcome. You're welcome. Please define to us cybersecurity.
Sure. Cybersecurity is the protection of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. In short, that's the best way for me to describe it. You hear a lot of different definitions, but ensuring that the proper authorized people have your information with confidentiality, integrity, ensuring that the information is not modified in transit, integrity, and available, making sure it's available to the people who are supposed to have it and is not destroyed.
Thank you. I learned something from that. I mean, because you hear cybersecurity quite a bit, right. and what really is cybersecurity. This month, I know when I messaged you, a few days ago and asked you would you participate, in this. This is April. And April happens to be Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. And so I began to think, you and I talk from time to time as well, either through text or social media, and something that you mentioned before, I saw a post, and I said, you know what, this would be the perfect story because it's happening to so many people. And with this happening to be Child Abuse Prevention Month, and it coincides with how things are happening cyber-wise. In this day and age, cybersecurity is very important when it comes to a family. So how important is cybersecurity in the family in this day and age?
Cybersecurity is very important to the family in this day and age, to everybody. Everything from getting gas to ensuring that the credit card swipe is secure, to everything to making sure your credit card isn't being used for random purchases online.
Okay, all right. So I know we were speaking earlier that I shared with you that it's a friend of mine whose daughter, the mother actually is a teacher, and the father is actually in education as well. And she was sharing with me that she was dropping her daughter, had to pick her daughter up from Girl Scouts. And I think her daughter's about 12. And their subject matter was cybersecurity. So how early should parents begin to talk to their children, have that discussion about cybersecurity?
Well, studies show about 75% of age 12 to 17 already online, beginning at 12, and some as early as 5, believe it or not, because they're playing the video games and they're playing the other things that parents tend to give them to do with their iPad or their devices. So how early is possible? As soon as you put that device in their hand, you want to teach them how to easily turn it off and turn it back on. Leave it off if they're not playing with it, and come back and turn it on. It's something as simple as that type of security could be taught at an early age.
What can we do? I mean, what can parents do to protect, our children from cyber abuse? Are there some tips some things we can kind of keep in mind?
Sure. Gaming, for one. Gaming, when they're online, you want to ensure that the app they're using has restrictions on it. In-store app purchases. And if you're not sure on how to do this, when you purchase your iPhone or your Android or any device, just ask the people you're buying it from, they'll be happy to show you. The iPhone is just as easy as doing it through the content restrictions. And I'm gonna let you know right now, the iPhone is off by default. So you can make purchases like you're probably doing yourself as an adult online, and that credit card is stored. So when your child gets a hold of it and they start playing their video games, they're trying to get to that next level with strawberries, and they end up purchasing strawberries, which probably costs about $100 because your credit card is on there. Guess what? You're gonna come up with a bill about $3,000 at the end of the month from China because the app was probably made in China. So you wanna be secure with the apps and games you have your children dealing with. When it comes to social media, I recommend that you follow and befriend your child. You don't have to engage in any conversations, but you want to be aware of who they're talking to. right? You want to be aware of who's dealing with them. And you want to put your adult eyes on certain people to ensure that, no, this is probably a fake account. You want to make the proper adjustments and talk with your child. You want to participate with them. And communicating and engaging with them is important. Just like you communicate and engage with them, like throwing that ball, you want to get online with them and going through online purchases like, do you know little Sally that's trying to chat with you? No, you don't. Okay, we don't want to speak to her because that's probably a stranger. Remember, we don't talk to strangers. Just like they do offline, we need to do online. Okay, you know Billy? Yeah, Billy in the same class. Well, let's have a chat with Billy. And you go through it with them. Have a chat with Billy and get to know, get them to look at you how you're dealing with online. They're going to do it, right? It's the same thing offline and online. Also being aware of just putting up practical rules, just safe rules, written rules saying, hey, we're going to keep the house device here in the middle of the living room. We're going to be aware of how long you stay on that device, give them certain time when they get home from school. Simple rules like that will help protect the amount of time they're available in online, because likely they're going to be online a whole lot more than you. Their friends are going to have devices at school, so you want them to be aware of that. And when they're on those devices at school, another thing, you want to make sure that they're aware of how to talk and not to talk, and not be the bully and not get bullied, right? You want them to be aware of the fact that, okay, what did you just say? Would you like if somebody said that to your face? So you want them to understand the same thing, way you act and behave and etiquette, you carry yourself in class, the same way you act and etiquette you do online. A lot of adults probably learn for that too.
Absolutely. So we spoke about gaming, social media, set up some rules, and then how we interact with people as far as speaking with them, as far as making sure that they're not bullying anyone, and then making sure no one's bullying them, you know, as well. Are there anything else?
One more signs to look for if you want to see if your child is being bullied. Look for them being tense, stressed out, or distressed every time the phone rings, every time that bell chimes on that game, every time that text come in. See if they just turn their devices off all of a sudden. If they're not playing that video game all of a sudden. Those are signs you need to pick up on real quick and approach. Don't be afraid to approach your school system and your teachers to see what rules that they have in place for cyberbullying. You'll be surprised. A lot of these children that are getting caught up in these cyberbullies and these different pictures they like to send around are being arrested for charges because of the school policies, because schools are finding themselves involved in these cases when it comes to it, because parents are like, why didn't you keep my child safe? What were you doing, right? So you want to be aware of the school policies as well.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Those are very important tips. I know that our viewers are going to want to, get in touch with you, ask you more questions. How can they reach you if they have other questions?
You can reach me at Anwar at propelledtech.com. That's spelled ANWAR at PROPELLEDTECH.com. You can also find more information on keeping your child safe at IamCybersafe.org. That's IamCybersafe, all one word, .org.
And is that's a federal, is that a nonprofit organization?
It's a nonprofit organization that's assisted by an organization I'm a part of, ISC Squared, Safe and Secure Online. It's promoting safe and security for children online. ISC Squared pretty much regulates the security certification I have. So that organization is a nonprofit partnered with them.
This has been some wonderful information. And I'm confident that everyone who's viewing this will take some of these tidbits, install them into their family so that they can keep their family, safe and secure, and so their children, they can prevent their children from being cyber abused, as well. Anwar, thank you. You've always been a stand-up guy.
No problem.
And he happens to be one of those alpha men as well.
That's right.
So, and thank you for everyone tuning in to inCity Magazine. We have more content coming your way. Talk to you soon.